Ready, play.
Fairly lengthy exchange to
Love 15.
get this one underway.
Dimitrov had a bit of a nervous start in his quarterfinal win against Roger Federer. Dropped his first service, game through in a couple of double faults in that game. That was a 20-shot rally to start things, and that's what Medvedev does. He puts the ball down the center, doesn't give you much angle, stands pretty far back.
Love 13.
And right out of the gates, you can see the problems Dimitrov's going to have in this match if Medvedev is healthy. He's got to figure out a way to bring Medvedev forward with a short Federer cross-court little chip slice, bring him into no man's land. He's going to want to retreat, and then you have a chance to hit through him. But if you just, all of the slices we've seen from Dimitrov so far are too deep. So Medvedev is staying in his favorite part of the court, way behind the baseline.
Missed another. So
Mr. Dimitrov challenging the call on the
well,
right
he just wants to
baseline.
make sure.
The ball was called out.
That's the benefit of the chase review system. Inside Ash. Doing everything he can to try and avoid going down love 40, but that has missed.
Ooh. Love 40. Dimitrov has 2 challenges remaining.
So 3 early chances for the Russian.
Game Medvedev.
And that's a pretty poor game from Dimitrov. Medvedev on top immediately. We
First game.
are delighted to have the services of Luke Jensen courtside. Luke, how's it looking down there?
Oh, it's amazing. Dimitrov hasn't won a point yet, and he's just struggling to make contact. He hit a couple of misses so far and doesn't feel comfortable at all. The crowd is actually still spilling in. That rain out has really affected the traffic, so we're not going to see a full house towards probably until the 3rd set here.
Luke, how was the reception that Medvedev got coming out on the court when he was introduced? Because he's at times in this tournament been booed.
Daniil
and I
Medvedev to
couldn't
serve.
quite get a sense of, was he cheered or booed?
He got a mixed review. I was listening for that too. It's my kind of action right there.
I love it. I've been wanting a villain for the last 30 years, and we might have one.
Love 15.
Isn't he more like a tongue-in-cheek villain, though?
He is. He's not a villain in any way. He seems like a very nice young man, but he's somehow annoyed this crowd in New York.
I think what partly led to that was it was the Lopez match, wasn't it? The Feli Lopez match, and he was very quick to admit that he did do a couple of stupid things in that match. There was a finger gesture to the crowd, and he snatched a towel off one of the ball crew. And that's where the relationship seemed to develop, didn't it? And it took off in the post-match interview and again in the next match after the next match. But I agree, Luke. I think it was more of a sort of pantomime.
15-13.
While we've been chatting, Medvedev has hit 2 double faults. The only 2 points Dimitrov's won in the match to this point. What in the world is going on? It's not the sun and wind, is it, Luke?
No. It's now an indoor tournament for this match.
15-14.
This is returning the gift right out of the gate. If Dimitrov's able to break back, Medvedev with 2 double faults, and then he actually came forward on his own volition and got caught. I'm thinking Dimitrov's got to do something to bring him forward.
He's made that to save the first.
30-14.
This is typical Medvedev, as you'll see. He's running, he feels a little bit off balance and gangly, but he finds the spots in the court where you're not standing.
Yes.
It's only the second first service made in this first service game. Had a quick look a few minutes ago at how much time they've spent on court. Medvedev just over 12.5 hours. Dimitrov just over 10
Advantage
hours.
Medvedev.
Sort of distance they've run as well through the draw. Dimitrov 7.3 miles. Medvedev 10.3 miles. Of course, that's not running in a straight line either, is it?
No, but it's also partly because Dimitrov's played one less match since he got a withdrawal.
Game Medvedev.
Pretty bad sign for Dimitrov that he doesn't break serve in a game where his opponent
Medvedev
did
leads 2
2
games to
double
love.
faults that made an unforced error. And Medvedev still holds serve.
Light for service.
One thing that drives me a little bit crazy watching players play Dimitrov is that his second serve is in the same spot every single time. Kicker somewhat short in the box, sort of to the backhand, but not even, a little bit middle of the box. And nobody attacks it. Look at where Medvedev's standing for this second serve. It's going to your backhand. Someone asked me in Montreal, who do I think is going to be the next #1? Who's going to take the place of the big three when it happens? This was before the run. And I said, I'm a little worried, but I think it's going to be Daniil Medvedev. Because his style is very effective, but it's not quite as exciting as watching Nadal and Federer and even Djokovic. Sort of puts a stranglehold on you. Okay, that was the play I was talking about. It was the first time Dimitrov hit that slice, and it was short enough that Medvedev had to at least be on the baseline. And then he was able to hit one big shot, sneak in, and get control of the point. But if he just tries to hit through Medvedev, Dimitrov is not winning this match.
for service.
He's got to get a hold here, Dimitrov. He's incidentally at his lowest ranking since 2012. That's how rough this season has been.
Medvedev is challenging the commander right far sideline. The ball was called out.
Chase review confirming
40-15. Medvedev has 2
centimetre or
challenges
so.
remaining.
Just wide of the line.
Game Dimitrov.
That could be an important hold for Dimitrov. Settle any nerves and allow him to get his teeth into
Medvedev
this
leads
one.
2 games to 1 first set.
Medvedev with the break though, 2-1.
Time. Take your seats quickly, please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Rod Laver in
First
the house
available
on
seat if you're
men's
courtside.
semi-final
Thank
day.
you.
Under the roof on a wet day in this part of the world, but we're good to go. Relatively new facilities here. It's a wonderful Arthur Ashe Stadium, roof over Armstrong these days as well. It's helped out from time to time this week.
15 love.
Suggested in his post-match media, Medvedev, that after the win over Wawrinka, that he might well have pulled the plug midway through that match had he not perhaps won that first set, but as he got his further and further into the contest, actually sort of said initially, Jim, I was feeling pretty loose because I didn't really feel I was able to come through a best-of-5 match physically, and then as I started winning it, I actually started getting a little tight and started thinking, hang on a minute, I could do this.
It's amazing how important your attitude is. You have to have this, I want to win, but it's not so important that it paralyzes you.
And even more incredible for me,
15-13.
he said after the match that I guess because of his inexperience here at the US Open, he didn't realize that he was in the half of the draw that gets 2 days off when he was on court. Only until he got off court someone told him. He was like, what? I've got 2 days off.
Well, because the best he's done is third round, and you never get 2 days off from the second round to the third round.
How much of a bonus is that extra day?
I mean, when you're a little bit dinged up, it was huge. good stuff from Dimitrov. He's dealing with those shots getting right down the center in this game. Finding an angle eventually, going behind Medvedev. He's got a couple of break chances again. He had 15-40 in Medvedev's first service game.
There's the break back.
Two games all first set.
So the first 4 games are shared in 16 minutes played. I'm reminded to head to the official tournament website, usopen.org, for latest scores, stats, schedules, draws throughout the remainder of the tournament, through to Sunday, of course. Luke, it feels like there's a slightly different noise level when Grigor's winning his points. Is that accurate?
He's definitely the crowd favorite in this contest. His box is really vocal after every point, even on a loss. His box is really getting after it, supporting him, going for it.
Medvedev fallen apart here in the last couple of games.
30-love.
He's decided that it's the racket's fault. So we'll see if he's right.
9 of the last 10 points for the Bulgarian.
Many of them unforced errors from Medvedev, and he's a guy that normally does not make many errors. He puts the ball in when he gets his racket on it.
He's playing his 3rd Grand Slam semi-final today, so more experience. Medvedev's first at this level. Played his semi at Wimbledon. That was 2014, one in Australia as well. So his first here, but his 3rd overall. Just one victory post Wimbledon coming into this tournament. Dimitrov with 3 games in a row, 3-2.
Dimitrov leads 3-2 first set.
So a nice run of games for the Bulgarian. Trying to feel like he's has to use his aggression today with Medvedev so deep behind his baseline. Trying to come forward when he can. looks at Daniil Medvedev with a little thinking to do. How that body is feeling. Early doors in this one. On the opening 2 games, the last 3 have slipped away there. What did you like, Jimmy, about that last play of Grigor's?
He hit the short slice, the one that brings Medvedev forward, and that's the only way to sort of get him off that defensive position he's in, and then you can get aggressive and possibly sneak into the net. Dimitrov's done it twice. He's won the point both times. It's not the easiest shot to hit, that short, low slice. That's why you don't see it that often on the tour. But Federer's a guy who's made a pretty good living with that play.
So looking to stop the roll. 2-3. Medvedev, a finalist in Washington, finalist in Montreal, won Cincy. And now the semi-finals here at the US Open.
You know, maybe Medvedev was right. The racket was to blame, because since he's switched rackets, he's been playing much better the last couple of points, serving better. He's still under 50% first serve percentage, even though he's made 2 to start this game.
Do you get any sense, Luke, down there that Medvedev is looking jaded? I know the body's pretty much taped up there, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, he's moving good. He's been getting to the corners, hitting shots back. And Jimmy's right. Since he switched rackets, he's on target.
He's lost since he switched rackets. Have been good shots and good plays from Dimitrov, like that forehand you just saw on the run. Bit of a nervous start kind of for both guys. I know Medvedev had the 2-love lead. But he was also nervous. Perhaps now they're settling in and we're going to see them at their best.
3 games per set.
Medvedev is such an interesting study because he doesn't play really the modern game. His ball is extremely flat. Off the backhand side, sometimes it has side spin on it. And so flat sometimes, Jimmy, you can read the lettering of the ball.
Yeah, that's amazing. And he does it from 50 feet behind the baseline, which seems ridiculous, really. You're supposed to clear the net when you're that far back.
The technique is a little jacked up too. That forehand you would not teach anyone. You're the GOAT, the godfather of the forehand, the modern forehand.
I would not teach that forehand. Now, every time I look at it, I shudder.
I think it looks like he's like broken his arm or something like that.
Yeah, but it goes in.
Hit.
15 all.
There's a guy that people used to really kind of like here in New York, Jimmy Connors.
Had a pretty good backhand.
And it was side spinny, flat, very low. Very annoying shot, actually, to play
He took
against.
the ball early. You know, he was
did.
closer to the baseline.
Yes. Made a run to the semifinals here as a 39-year-old.
from both guys.
15-13.
This is only played a handful of games, but average rally 8 shots, almost 6.9 shots. So there's no 1-2 sort of combination serve big forehands going on. It's let's start the point, find a way to create some openings.
Winner of 8 ATP titles, Dimitrov. None since 2017, though, that win at the year-end championships.
Dimitrov changing the call on the left outside line. The ball was called
right
out.
on that line. Even Medvedev is saying it was good.
Yeah, it did look good from where I'm sitting, and it's not. Wow.
30-14.
Motion. He gave the signal.
Dimitrov has 1 chance remaining.
Maybe he meant good for me.
So chance for the Russian.
That was close too. All right, second serve. It's going to your backhand. Look, Medvedev finally stepping up. So Dimitrov was shocked at the restart.
The double take there.
Use.
Luke, you're right. I could hear Dimitrov's box there yelling up what a great serve, that kick to the backhand that we all knew was coming.
Yeah, a lot of G, a lot of let's. I mean, I'm telling you, after every point, good or bad, they are urging him on.
So Andre Agassi and Radek Stepanek have been the coaches this season. They're not here in New York, but he has said that they're still part of the team very much. He's in contact with those two guys.
Advantage Dimitrov.
Calling for the short slice backhand. He gave you one there. It was a drop shot from a position in the court that I don't recommend drop shotting from. Behind the baseline, but he dropped it over absolutely perfectly. Had he missed it, I would have said, what a dumb shot from there.
Game Dimitrov.
That's a nice hold for Dimitrov. Saves the break point. And he moves ahead.
New balls, please. Dimitrov leads 4-3 first set.
Already mentioned the ranking of Dimitrov, 78 at the moment. Of course, new list comes out on Monday, post US Open, and at the very least, he'll be back to 25. So it's been some fortnight here. He'll be 17 with a win. It seems like he's, I mean, everything he's been saying, it's just been trust the process. Seems like a good student in that respect, a hard worker.
He has been a hard worker. He's a true professional in every sense of the word his entire career. That's what makes it a little strange how up and down that career has been. Goes back and forth from being superstar to somewhat ordinary, and maybe this tournament will get him back into that superstar status where he's got the kind of confidence. He's got such a great athlete. There's no reason why he shouldn't be ranked top 20 forever.
Yeah, it was number 3 after that season-ending championships win. Start of 2018. That's how far the rankings fallen.
Time.
He's had injury problems this season as well, Dimitrov. That's been a factor. Around 2 months or so out.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Injury.
Ready for play?
Thank
you very much.
That process, trying to get fit again, rebuilding that. That joint has tweaked the rackets as well on and off this season, so there's lots of little things here and there to deal with.
Dimitrov is way too fast to hit an indifferent drop shot too, and he paid the price, Medvedev, there.
In fact, the Bulgarian didn't play between Australian Open and Miami, so that's a pretty big chunk of the season.
He did show up at Indian Wells with Andre Agassi, but obviously wasn't quite ready to play. I didn't realize that Dimitrov has this much shot tolerance. I felt as though he's sort of a flashy player that's aggressive and going for shots, but in this match they've had a lot, almost every rally seems to go on, and he's been willing to stay in those points.
That's a nice hit.
One thing, Jimmy, from this perspective, Medvedev doesn't really hit the ball that hard. I mean, he can, but he basically masters the rally ball. It's not too light. It's not too big. He plays huge margins. Dimitrov isn't feeling threatened at all by the pace or even the depth. A lot of Medvedev's shots are short.
Yeah, you're right, Luke. They are. And Dimitrov hasn't really stepped up and taken advantage. He just did with that last forehand down the line. It was one of the things in my era, we played sometimes people we called pushers, were just putting the ball in, but they'd never hit a winner. I loved playing those guys because of exactly what Luke just said. I can wait till I get the shot I like.
Game, Medvedev.
I told you Dimitrov's fast, but he's not that fast.
Lady luck.
4 games all for a set.
On the Russian side, 4 games apiece.
We've talked about the crowd, and the crowd is really enjoying the Dimitrov imagination. You see the slices, the drives, the mix-up. He's Lowe's looking to attack and create something. Whereas Medvedev's almost kind of boring. He serves pretty big, and then the rest of it just kind of grinds. It's like a bigger version of Leighton Hewitt if you want to turn the clock back a little bit.
15 love.
Both Monte Carlo residents, these two guys. Medvedev based down in the south of France. Grigor calls Monte Carlo his home.
30 love.
Pretty busy club, that one.
Yeah, it seems like everyone in the top 50 is a resident of Monte Carlo for some reason.
Monte Carlo Country Club, of course, the venue for the Masters 1000 there.
Now he's starting to figure out ways to break down the Medvedev defense. Good serve out wide. He's got to use that more often when an opponent is standing that far back to return. You've got to use the wide serve, get them out of the doubles alley to start the point.
Game Dimitrov.
Races through game number 9. It's the Bulgarian just to get
Dimitrov leads 5 games to 4 per set. Time.
So the Russian, the first to come under a bit of pressure. Tail end of this first set, first semi-final of the day here in New York. The roof is closed. Pressure building on the number 5 seed. It's going to be fascinating, isn't it? Whoever
15 months.
does get nearer the finish line with such a big prize. Neither of these guys played Grand Slam final, of course. See if that affects the nerves, the mind, the body.
It's what makes these kind of matches so interesting. First time semifinalist, someone's going to get to a final of a major. So few people in history really have done that.
The semis here at the Open. Were you thinking that? Were you thinking about the next match
15 all.
being in a final?
No, but that's because I made the very dumb decision that I really wanted to make the semis that year.
That was your goal.
That was my goal. And as soon as I made the semis, I remember thinking, why am I playing again? I did it. I already won.
What about for these two guys, their mindset? No way they were thinking they're going to be in this position. Dimitrov getting through Fed.
I actually think Medvedev did think he'd be in this position. Dimitrov, I agree with you, but I think Medvedev,
30
he said before Montreal, if he doesn't make at least the quarterfinals of Montreal, Cincinnati, and the U.S. Open, all three, that it would be very disappointing to him. So he's got a lot of confidence coming in. Having said that, he's serving at 30 all. It's a huge moment, and he just got called for a foot fault, so he's going to have to deal with a second serve. You just can't miss
40,
that
30.
drop from that far back. Second serve at 90 miles an hour in the middle of the box, right to your forehand.
Game, Medvedev.
Medvedev survives. Little scare, 30 all.
5 games all, first set.
I wonder if Dimitrov has said to himself as well, you know, I know everything Medvedev's been through. His cramping in third round, I think it was, and then he's talked about the leg issue, his shoulder. Obviously, he's played a ton of matches as well. If this first set is extra important, you know, just make that mountain a little bit steeper for the Russian if he does go down a set. Certainly was the feeling when Medvedev played Wawrinka if he had lost that first set. Electric.
That'll teach you to attack. Medvedev finally comes forward on his own. Thought he was in pretty good shape in the point. And then Dimitrov comes up with that backhand pass down the line. He passed pretty well against Federer as well. Federer would come in off some big shots and he'd always get it down low. The one stat that I'm looking at that's sort of interesting is Dimitrov's second serve. He's winning 62% of the points.
Let for service.
And Medvedev 44%. So that's when you start a point at even. I would think Medvedev would have had the advantage, and it's been Dimitrov so far.
Out. Game, Dimitrov.
It's another quick hold for Dimitrov, who's racing through those service games. And he'll get another chance to steal this first set.
Dimitrov leads
6-5.
6 games to 5, first set.
Is Dimitrov winning this at the moment if it's a boxing contest?
I mean, he's ahead on the score cards right now, but I still feel as though he's got a higher risk game, and if he gets tight, he'll start making errors. And Medvedev will find a way. I mean, that's what it seems like happens. You're hearing the view of Martina Navratilova in the grounds.
Yeah, that was the noise you will have just heard. I'd look at Jimmy Connors a couple of games ago as well. At that stage of the tournament.
That might have been actually Luke Jensen. They finally saw him down there on the side.
No, there are a lot of celebs in the house. Former New York Mayor Bloomberg is in the house.
Former Mayor David Dinkins.
Time.
Must be.
He's here. Yeah. Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, is here. Courtside.
Thank you. Ready for play.
It's been a tight opening set, 46 minutes. 5-6. That's a great start for Dimitrov. That's what he's looking for.
Love 15.
Again, you can actually hear his box coming through the mics, can't you, courtside?
They're right above us right here. You can hear every syllable from that team.
15 all.
.124-mile-an-hour ace, although it seemed bigger than that. Well placed.
Who's going wide?
It's another foot fault.
Mr. Dimitrov
Called good, I think.
challenging the call on the left far sideline. The ball's called in.
Well, if this has caught the line, it's vintage Medvedev.
Yeah, you don't know how he gets these kind of shots to drop, but he does. It's almost a miracle.
30-15. Dimitrov has no more challenges remaining.
And then he just boomerangs that forehand, and it does catch half the line. Called out.
Didn't hear the call.
40-15.
Grigor did he, but he hasn't challenged.
Does he not have any challenges remaining?
No, he's done. That's good spot, Jimmy.
Wow. That ball was good. So, wow, that's a tough break. Instead of 40-15, 30 out. It's amazing how 1 point, what a difference. Well, maybe Medvedev feeling guilty that his opponent got cheated and said, I'll give you a point. But
40-13.
that's what actually just happened.
So, Gilles Savara, Frenchman who's coached Medvedev into the top 5. Always looks pretty cool courtside. There's the Russian just starting to wobble here.
Deuce.
Strange choice of shots for Medvedev because he's a guy that normally just let me put it again in down the middle again. Let's see if you can hit a winner. And he lost a little patience.
Two points away from this first set.
Advantage Dimitrov.
Dimitrov's team once more in his ear.
Thank you.
With set point.
Please.
Interesting player, Medvedev, because
Deuce.
when he gets behind, often that's when he'll play his most aggressive, and you just saw it there. That's one of the few times today where he's taken a first ball, ripped it, and come in.
Advantage
That might have been
Medvedev.
wide even. I mean, no challenges remaining. That would be criminal almost. 2 bad calls in one game.
Medvedev just lost his footing there.
Excellent recognition from Dimitrov.
Yes.
Medvedev did lose a little bit of balance, and so he just came running in. Once he saw him stretching, came forward, good swing volley. Pressure continues on Medvedev.
Another foot fault.
Oh, he's really close to that line, that front foot. And he's not backing off after all the football
Advantage
calls.
Medvedev.
And the fact that he's double faulted 4 times, serving 5-6 deuce, gets a football call, just cracks a second serve. That was one of the biggest second serves we've seen him hit at 106 miles an hour.
It's a feature of his win over Djokovic, wasn't it, in Cincinnati, that match?
Game
Medvedev survives.
Typical Medvedev and what he's been doing this summer.
6 games all first set
finds a
tiebreak.
way.
Both players receive an additional challenge.
Boy, you get on these rolls like Andreescu, you forget how to lose.
Yeah, it is amazing. Winning breeds more winning. And unfortunately, losing also often breeds more losing.
Well, those players are out of the tournament, so they're gone.
Yeah.
So 53 minutes on the clock. He's going to nick this first set. And how big will it be if it's Dimitrov?
1-0 Dimitrov.
I actually think even if it's Medvedev, Dimitrov's right in this thing, and physically he is a beast. He is in tremendous shape. There's no chance, I don't think, that Dimitrov will get tired or slow down as this match wears on. Can you figure out what that
2-0 Dimitrov.
gesture that Medvedev keeps? A couple times now after the point, he's moved his arms around and around in a circle. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean?
No idea. He keeps looking to his box, and
Yeah.
Dimitrov just has the right temperament, right shot selection for each point right now.
Again,
2-1
behind,
Dimitrov.
must-win point. Medvedev gets a little more aggressive, gets up to the net, but that was a forehand pass. Dimitrov should have at least tested Medvedev's volley. We've seen one volley in this match, and it was a poor one that he hit. So next time, if you're Dimitrov, don't have to hit a winner pass. You got to make him volley.
Mr. Dimitrov is challenging the call on the right far sideline.
He's
The
got
ball's
one
called out.
left because you add one when you get to a tiebreak. Dimitrov, that one was called wide.
Well, Medvedev looked pretty convinced. Didn't
Yeah, he did. He called it wide himself, so don't waste it on that. It's right in front of
2-0.
Dimitrov. He's gonna get
Dimitrov
it.
surely
has
he
no
knows
more
that's
challenges
out.
remaining.
He should have. Now stuck with no challenges left. You think
Medvedev.
back on this first set, 12 games, a few points in the tiebreak. And all the aesthetically pleasing shots have been hit by Dimitrov. He's still down a mini break in the tiebreak after having a 2-love lead.
He's won all his tiebreaks, Medvedev, through the draw here in New York. One against Feli Lopez. In fact, 2 against Feli Lopez. One against Kupfer, the German qualifier. And 1 against Wawrinka. So 4 out of 4. Again, another indication of that winning habit. Looking like it could be 5 out of 5. Nice position to change ends in that 2-point cushion. Can he extend that lead?
Fifth
4-3 Medvedev.
I mean, when you look at the stats, there's no way Medvedev's winning this match. 14 winners to 7. Dimitrov leads in that. 17 unforced errors for Medvedev, 12 for Dimitrov.
41% first serves as well.
For Medvedev. I mean,
way down.
And the stats, Medvedev's getting crushed this set.
Second service.
That was the second serve I might have been able to outrun. It was moving so slowly. Yeah, you could sense that was coming after the way that other second serve went.
5-3 Medvedev.
Still hasn't broken my record.
What is that, 24?
It was 37. That will never be broken, that second serve. For the slowest of all time.
Thank you.
Back-to-back double faults from these guys. Nadal must be watching this match saying, this is fantastic. Whoever I play. Berrettini will have something to say about it in the semifinals. But yeah, they're showing you that the moment is pretty big for both of them.
I absolutely agree. The occasion certainly playing its part in this first set breaker. Medvedev still with the slight advantage. Mini break, 2 service points to come. Dimitrov has had a set point, remember.
Fault.
Well.
5-all.
Still nothing to separate these two. Almost on the stroke of an hour on court. 5 apiece. Another foot fault.
That one not quite as egregious since it was out anyway. There was
6-5
no acceleration
Medvedev.
from Dimitrov on that forehand. All I can tell you is Dimitrov better get this first serve in. Set point for Medvedev. Get ready for 69-mile-an-hour second serve.
5-6.
Oh.
Here we go. Put it wrong.
Game and first
And the
set,
Russian
Medvedev.
comes through a nail biter. He's up a set.
7 games to 6.
Grigor Dimitrov will be feeling like that's a set that's slipped through his fingers, especially if he were to sit down and look at some of the Russians' numbers, Jimmy.
I mean, it's remarkable in some ways that Medvedev won that set, and it's enough to annoy Dimitrov to the point where he's leaving. He's done. At least for a minute. He's going to change clothes. That was a strange set at many levels when you look at these stats. So first serve percentage for Medvedev 40%, and he was winning under half of those points. So those numbers mean you should have broken a few times, but he was only broken once in the match. And the unforced errors, 18 to 15. I didn't think there's any chance Medvedev would have more unforced errors than Dimitrov. I did think Dimitrov would have more winners, and that was indeed the case. But when you look at these stats, and you didn't see that line up above that says Medvedev 7-6, you would say, oh yeah, that was a 6-3 set for Dimitrov. But that's what this Daniil Medvedev does. He just puts the ball down the center, runs from well behind the baseline, puts balls in. None of it looks that impressive, but he has proven to be very difficult to beat.
So Daniil Medvedev deep in thought after a 61-minute first set that's gone his way. Dimitrov disappeared. It's taken him too long to reappear. The Bulgarian to play catch-up now. I think I agree with you, Jimmy, in terms of he's always approaches his matches with impressive work ethic. Should be pretty fresh, and you often see that from guys who've maybe missed a chunk of the season. Hasn't played too many matches, certainly compared back to Medvedev. So he'll keep plugging away.
There's no question he's going to keep fighting.
Seats
keep
quickly,
trying to find
please,
some
ladies
answers.
and gentlemen. Thank you.
He's just got to keep his nerve at the end of sets, and that's where you get the sense
If you're
Medvedev,
courtside,
that's where he's so
please
strong right now.
take a
And
seat.
that's still a little bit of scar tissue
Players
for
are ready.
Dimitrov
Thank you.
on the season that he's had to this point, and some of the disappointing moments that he's
Second
had.
set. Medvedev to serve. Love 15. Fault. Fifteen all.
This guy's incredible summer continues.
30-15.
Just 2 sets away now from his first Grand Slam final. Russians, of course, have been hunting in a pack, haven't they? Khachanov, pretty good year.
40-15.
Rublev, most recently, that win over Federer in Cincinnati.
Rublev also beat Tsitsipas here. And Kyrgios.
First Russian Grand Slam semi-finalist since Mikhail Yuzhny. That was 2010 here in New York. Last Russian to make a major final was Marat Safin. 2005 in Australia when he beat Hewitt. Safin was the last Russian to make a final here in the men's singles. That was back in 2000. Won that one as well, beat Sampras that day. Another slightly quirky Russian.
Well, where's that guy's forehand gone?
Advantage
Dimitrov
Medvedev.
can't find water from a boat on that side. I mean, it let him down in the tiebreaker.
It did, yeah.
His feet aren't moving. He's flat on the ground on his heels.
He hears Luke disparaging his forehand and decides, you know what, I'm going to hit my 4 best forehands in a row.
Right, but
You're right. He had 13 unforced errors on that side, only a couple for Medvedev. So that has been the problem for him in this match.
I just think he has to just wait. He's playing his best tennis when he's real consistent.
Advantage
Thumbs up to his
Dimitrov.
box. I'm not sure. Is he saying, why didn't you teach me how to volley? Because the 2 times I've seen him volley, it's not been pretty. Break chance for Dimitrov, even with these forehand errors in this game.
Much to the delight of his entourage courtside.
First game, second set.
Dimitrov hasn't done all that well when he loses first sets. He's 3-11 in 2019, but he did beat Roger Federer in the last round after losing the first set. Medvedev 44-4 when he wins the first set. So all these signs, all those numbers point to Medvedev, but he starts out the second set donating his serve with 4 unforced errors and a double fault.
And aggravated with his box.
Yeah, he's giving him a thumbs up. I'm not sure when he's missed 2 shots in a row. Kind of reminds me of
Love 15.
Andy Murray. I was sitting with Brad Gilbert in Andy Murray's box back in the day, and Andy loses a point early in the match, comes over and starts yelling at Brad saying, yeah, great strategy, you idiot. And there was a couple other words thrown in there in between that I can't tell you.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing, the way.
Yeah.
Let for service.
Very sarcastic.
Love 13.
I think what drives me a little crazy with Medvedev's forehand when I look at it is that it seems as though it's all arm. I'm a big believer in rotation, getting your power from rotating your arm sort of being relaxed and loose. Medvedev sort of just hits it with his arm. A little bit of a slappy ball without really using that rotation very well.
Love 14.
Wild short forehand from Dimitrov. Looks like he's going to donate the break straight back.
Game Medvedev.
Well, the Russian didn't really have to do too much there.
1 game all, second set.
He didn't do anything. He just put a couple of balls in. He's still one winner 4-on-4 forced errors in this set. That all happened in the first game when he lost serve. Dimitrov keeps sending the message that I'm a little tight. I'm a little nervous when I have chances, when I have the lead. And if you're Medvedev and you've been winning this much, that should fill you with sort of confidence and belief that you're going to end up winning this match. It's funny because you're not under much pressure when you're playing Medvedev, as far as that was a difficult shot for Dimitrov, so his job is just put it in, because unlikely Medvedev's going to stripe a winner ground stroke even if you just put it in.
14
He does have a weapon with that first serve. He can get a lot of free points with the first serve.
And Medvedev doesn't want to take a short ball and come in and volley. We've seen that a couple times go wrong.
No, that was a thumbs up when he did it, when he hit it badly.
40-15.
Stops Medvedev's run of 7 points. Caught that one sweetly.
I mean, it's such a strange match in some ways. Dimitrov's so up and down. When it's right, you think, wow, that's beautiful. What a shot. But then he'll throw in a few unforced errors in a row.
Game Medvedev.
It's a good couple of games for the Russian. He's got this second set back on track quickly. Back
New
on
balls,
serve.
please.
He leads by a set and 2-1.
Medvedev leads 2 games to 1 second set, and we're 1 set alike.
It's booked to place in London, of course. Medvedev, regardless of what happens here today or beyond, the 4th player to qualify for the Nitto ATP Finals. That's the season-ending championship, so they're making his debut there at the O2 in East London, end of the season. Nadal, Djokovic, Federer are the other 3 names to punch their tickets. 8 qualify. Currently the places 5 to 8 are Team Tsitsipas, Bautista Agut and Nishikori. That's of course Berrettini lurking at 9th. What an incredible jump he's made.
And Zverev at 10th. What an incredible tumble he's made in some ways.
Could have a different look this year, couldn't it? I've got used to a similar sort of field there the last few years.
I don't think you want to win the year-end championships. Dimitrov, Zverev,
Time.
You lose early.
It's a curse.
That's a good point. You're in the finals, you better tank.
Take a seat quickly, please, ladies and gentlemen. If you're courtside, thank you.
This feels like a big game coming up for Dimitrov. That first set slipping away.
First available seat for the moment. Thank you.
Early in this second, just lost a bit of momentum.
Month.
Head down and move on quickly after that volley.
Dimitrov does a good job of not showing disgust. Because I'm up in the booth, and I don't think I could hide my disgust with missing that volley for him. I mean, sets the point up nicely, has good volleys normally.
Well, he's got a good attitude, hasn't he, Dimitrov? Again, has spoken about that during his stay in New York without Agassi and Stepanek here. Said he's had a bit more time to himself. He's been working hard in the gym. He wants to feel like he goes on court stronger and fitter than his opponent.
Seems to me he doesn't know his identity. I mean, is he fed? You know what I mean? Like, who is he as a competitor, as a player? And he's still searching for that. Medvedev knows exactly what he is. He's a big serving, kind of just keep the ball in the court, wait, and defend.
It's a problem when you have so many shots to choose from. And Dimitrov does have a lot of talent, a lot of shots. He's haven't been able to quite figure it out.
But I'm going with the shots that go in. You know, Medvedev knows, like, it's a forehand, backhand. He's trying to execute those shots over and over again. He knows he's not going to be this all-court, moving forward player. He just plays real solid, simple tennis. Dimitrov can get real basic. For a while in the first, he was doing that.
Yeah, he was. You're right.
Jimmy, there's a great example. He runs around his backhand. He's outside the doubles alley. He's given up the entire court to the other side.
I kind of don't understand why players today, I know that I was somebody that ran around my backhand, so it's sacrilege for me to be saying this, but if you have a good backhand, there's no reason to get yourself out of position the way Dimitrov did there, and other players seem to do quite often. It's another thing that Medvedev rarely does. He just sort of, well, if you hit it to his backhand, he hits a backhand. If you hit it to his forehand, he hits a forehand, and he hits it down the center, gets it in.
Mr. Dimitrov is challenging the ball on the right baseline. The ball was called out.
It was called out. So it's Dimitrov who wants a closer look. Medvedev, by his body language, knew that was long.
Advantage Medvedev.
Felt almost as though Medvedev made the
Dimitrov
call.
has 2 challenges
There
remaining.
was no out call. He called it out, and the umpire sort of agreed with Medvedev.
Yeah, it was a bit like junior days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Chance here for the Russian.
Deuce.
I'm surprised Dimitrov hasn't really done any serve and volley here, considering how far back Medvedev is.
I was just thinking the exact same thing, and the fact that Medvedev hits it flat.
For service.
Yeah.
So it's an easy ball to volley.
He doesn't hit it hard. He just kind of, you know, blocks it back.
He could serve wide slowly and get in tight.
Yeah.
Again, just waiting.
Federer, if he played well
Advantage
against
Medvedev.
Medvedev, would absolutely crush him.
Destroy him.
With the style of play, and Dimitrov has those same tools. He just doesn't use them as well. That short slice, he's getting a short ball every time he hits it, but he doesn't step in and take it early and rip it. He waits for it, and it gives Medvedev time to get back in his defensive posture. Another break chance for Medvedev.
There we go.
Game Medvedev.
That backhand is money. And he's in a wonderful position
Medvedev leads 3 games to 1 second set.
now. Set and 3-1. Just a reminder to head to the official tournament website, usopen.org. Of course, you can download the US Open app as well for the latest scores, stats, highlights, player news, celebrity sightings,
Fault.
and much, much more. That's available in the App Store and Google Play Store.
Love 15.
Got to give Dimitrov's box another shout out, because
No, they got, they're starting to coach a little bit. They want long rallies. They want him to build the points.
okay. Oh, those are 2 nervous shots in a row from
Love
Medvedev.
13.
And whenever he hits a nervous shot, he points to his wife or coach, gives them a little thumbs up gesture. I mean, that was just tension that caused that lack of touch.
Dimitrov using his lock.
Pretty good speed there for
Love
Medvedev to
14.
run down the let court. He even hit it in a decent spot, but that was a great volley from Grigor to finish it off.
Yeah, just apologized just before the Russian served. Could see from the replay, couldn't you? Just in the background,
15-14.
sarcastically apologizing. He was looking for an apology immediately, but
He didn't get an
Grigor gave him the
apology.
fist bump.
Exactly. I mean, Grigor's not sorry. He was very excited, and no one ever is really sorry when they hit a let court.
Did apologize.
Eventually.
Exactly.
Let's.
Oh, sorry. I had to say sorry. That's really bumming me out.
Two saved.
Dimitrov better win this point.
Yes.
Or this match is starting to really fall into Medvedev's hands. Triple break point. He's got to get through this game.
They keep telling him, stay in the point. Long rally, stay in the point. So work the point. You can hear these catchphrases.
.125 to save.
Advantage Medvedev.
Miles per hour, that is.
Medvedev's going to the same ball, that old Goran Ivanisevic trick. He had a big serve. He asked for the same ball back.
Not a believer in that trick, by the way. See?
If you serve like that, you'd use that trick too.
I'd want the newer ball every time, not one that I just played with. See? If he had listened to me, he might have gotten the serve in.
Advantage Dimitrov.
They're pulling for him.
Thank you.
I think this can only help Medvedev, shockingly. He likes playing the villain role.
Thank you, please.
Dimitrov strikes back. Two breaks apiece in this second set. 3-2.
Medvedev leads 3-2 second set and by 1 set alive.
There's a different kind of atmosphere in this place all of a sudden. With the latest break of serve, I'm sure Medvedev will be sensing that. Bulgarians fans starting to make a bit more noise, and there's a fair few of them. That was a feature of his win in London, I remember, a couple of years ago. Huge number of Bulgarians based in the English capital came out that day to support. Some incredible noise inside the O2 that day when he beat Goffin in the final.
Seats quickly, please, ladies and gentlemen, courtside. Thank you. Ready for play.
Amplified, of course, in these kind of conditions with the roof closed inside at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Second semi-final to come after this one. Matteo Berrettini, the Italian, up against Rafa Nadal.
Take any seat, please. Just take a seat. Thank you.
Back on serve, 2-3. Gosh, very deep.
15 love.
Yeah, that serve should be used over and over again. I mean, in this set, Dimitrov's 3 of 10 when he gets his first serve in. I promise you it would be better than that if he hit all 10 of them out wide.
It's nice.
15-all.
Medvedev returning first serve 17 feet behind the baseline. Serve and volley out wide. Get your racket on the return. you've won the point.
And Jimmy, what Medvedev does, he starts at 17 feet, or 15 feet, then he backs up by the time he hits the ball. Watch what he does on this return to serve. He has this starting position, and he'll back up. Thomas Muster used to do a lot of that.
He did. I'm kind of a believer doing the opposite of that. You can start back, but then sort of start coming forward. Finally, a serve and ball. And a wide serve.
And he thumped it.
30-all.
Well, he showed you his athletic ability on that Yannick Noah-like slam dunk overhead. I don't know if it was quite Galmon Feast that we showed earlier in the tournament where he did a 360.
Yeah, match point, wasn't it, against Copil, the Romanian.
The other thing, Medvedev feeds off of pace. If you give him kind of nothing out there where he has to generate his own pace, he's not as comfortable.
You're right, because as I said earlier, no rotation on the forehand. That's where the power comes from, where you have to generate your own, and he doesn't have any. So
Beautiful. Game, Dimitrov.
That
3
will
games
help
all second
grow the
set.
confidence.
it'll also help that Medvedev, when it looked up a set that he kind of stole the first set, and then up 3-1 in the second set, and it looked as though he's gotten control of this match. As soon as he had that thought, he started playing poorly and started making unforced errors. It just drives me crazy missing that kind of return to serve. Again, that was an 86-mile-an-hour second serve, and Dimitrov was 15 feet behind the baseline. Put it in. Mayor Mike Bloomberg, we just showed you, former mayor.
And Martino, of course, just prior to that, interested party.
30 love.
Certainly haven't been any signs of the body troubling Medvedev today. No. Looks okay. That was the big question mark coming in. Because those 4 tournaments back to back, aren't they? Not only has he gone deep in 4 tournaments, Washington, Montreal, Cincy. Well, there's a week between Cincy and US Open, but even so, that's...
Yeah, that was an important week off, though. If you're under pressure 4 weeks in a row, virtually every day, mentally you start. Even if physically you're okay, mentally it starts to become difficult. Maybe that's what's happening to Medvedev here. Is
first service.
To me, he has played nervously, and I know this is a semifinal in the Grand Slam, first time he's ever been in a semifinal. Both players have shown their nerves.
Game, Medvedev.
The Russian gets his nose in front once more.
Medvedev leads 4 games
set.
to 3, second set, and by 1 set to
4-3. trainer on during the opening set of his win over Wawrinka. Medvedev had that leg heavily strapped and then decided it was had been applied a little too tight, so the trainer came back on. Always a worry when you get these guys who've played so much tennis in the later stages of tournaments, whether the body is going to hold up. The good news for the fans, so at the moment, seems in that respect is okay. Just coming up to around 6 p.m. local time. Plenty more tennis to come, of course. The men's doubles earlier today. Cabal and Farah, the Colombians, are the US Open champions.
Time.
Congratulations to those guys backing up their win at Wimbledon. 2 majors in a row. Again, shouts of "Let's go, G!" from
Thank
the
you,
box,
ladies and gentlemen. Ready for play?
which is the same
Take a
end.
seat, please. Thank you.
That's where Dimitrov is serving from, just over his left shoulder as he's serving into the court.
Love 15.
Those guys know how big this second set is. That's too good even for Medvedev.
That's the problem. 33 shots. That's how many it takes before you
15
finally
all.
get Medvedev out of position enough to finish the point. He's got to continue trying to work the point like his box is telling him to, but it's got to have the addition of a short ball in there to bring Medvedev forward. When he does it, that short slice, Medvedev hits the ball short. That's where you should jump on it. Yeah, Grigor's box knows how important this second set is, also because he's never come back from 2 sets to love down.
Game Dimitrov. 4 games all, second set.
These are points won by shots under 5. It is Dimitrov who's leading in that statistic. Over 9, that was one where I thought Medvedev would dominate, but he hasn't really. It's 14-13 in that number, so not sure. I know Medvedev's box and Luke Jensen are saying Dimitrov's got to keep the points going long, and I actually agree. But he hasn't won all those type of long, drawn-out rallies.
Let for service.
Goodness, how's he done that?
That is the shot that he has.
15
It's remarkable. I've seen him do it now for 2 straight matches where he just reaches out, flicks his wrist, and it always goes right around there. And more often than not, it's a winner.
It was behind him. Marathon exchange, and it's the Russian who comes out on top. 39 strokes.
30-15.
I mean, you get the sense Dimitrov could play a lot of points that way, and he's going to be a little fresher than Medvedev, so it might pay dividends in the long run, even if he's losing some of those points, just to keep Medvedev out there.
Mr. Medvedev is challenging the corner on the left service line.
I think
The
this
ball is called out.
partly could be a challenge because Medvedev needs to catch his breath. He had only 2 seconds to get that first serve going.
Yeah, he's got 3 left in this set. So
yeah, so he's. I need a
Second
little
service.
oxygen. I'm challenging.
Medvedev has 2 challenges remaining.
Medvedev hasn't done a great job when he gets to the net, as you can see. He's winning 0%. A couple of them have been brilliant passing shots, but others have been somewhat ugly volleys.
30 all. Oh,
40-13.
some serve to pull out of the bag. 4 all, 30 all.
Dimitrov got away with one right there. He hit that ball back and hit the umpire.
Hit the linesman. I saw that.
She didn't do anything.
No. I think, Luke, you should go out to the umpire and tell on him.
Just walk out there now?
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
They'd love you.
You must have had a pretty good view of that backhand pass a few points ago.
I did. He came out with a come on that was like in beast mode, and if he can get to that emotional level, he may be able to lift his game. I'm a big believer that your game follows your attitude, and he's just got to elevate right now. This is the moment.
Advantage
frustrating
Medvedev.
because there's no reason to risk anything on that slice. Medvedev's not going to hit a winner on the next ball. So if you're out of position like that, just float the chip. Go ahead and float it. Get yourself back in position. And you should be fine.
Too good. And he's still alive in this 9th game.
Deuce.
That drop ball, he got a little too much air, but because Medvedev was so far back, it couldn't get much on that first ball and paid the price.
And there's the emotion
Thank you.
from Dimitrov. Trying to make something happen. Too good.
Advantage Medvedev.
Here, just like he got him on the last one. Pretty good drop shot.
Just found himself in the perfect position, didn't he, Medvedev?
Well, he's got good instincts. Doesn't really know how to volley, but he knows how to run around and cover up at the net.
A chance for a 5-4 lead. There's the serve clock.
He keeps bringing it in right at the last possible second.
Deuce.
It's becoming a monumental game now for all 7.5 minutes. Ton of game points for Medvedev. Hasn't been able to convert.
What a bonus to be able to produce a couple of big serves, as he has done in this game.
Great half volley because it barely, I didn't think Medvedev could get there and not touch the net. The combination, he did a great job here. But he couldn't do enough with it.
Thank you.
As I said, monumental game going on right now. Momentum turning situation.
Advantage Medvedev.
Dimitrov can find a way to break, but Medvedev again with a game point. That was the nervous forehand from Dimitrov where he didn't accelerate.
9.5 minutes this service game. Medvedev has set up 4 apiece. It's a long set again as well. 50 minutes this second set.
Game
That's the way
Medvedev.
to finish it. How big will that hold of serve prove to be?
5-4.
Medvedev leads 5-4, second set, and by 1 set to love.
Surprisingly goes straight for some fuel when he hits the courtside chair. Just trying to get that heart rate back down after a marathon service game. Just starting to think if Dimitrov had broken there, gets the hold, we go sets all after 2 hours on court. It's a very different kind of challenge for Medvedev, but just nick this next game and then he's looking good. It's so finely balanced.
It is. It hasn't been tremendous level of tennis. We've seen some great shots, but there's so many unforced errors sprinkled in between those great shots. And you can't say that tennis has been amazing, but there's high drama going on.
Yeah, similar in that respect to the Berrettini-Monfils match, wasn't it? It was
Time.
a little up and down in supreme quality, but right up there in drama, that one. Fascinating to see what Berrettini can bring today against Nadal.
Take a seat, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
So all eyes on Grigor Dimitrov.
Ready
now.
for play. Thank you.
To this stage of the second set,
Seat,
where serving
please.
first can prove to be an advantage.
Thank you. City love.
It's got to give the Russian a bit of hope, that kind of forehand.
Until Medvedev changes his position to return serve. He wants to be 17 feet behind the baseline. Fine. Here's what you're going to deal with every single point. Every single time. In the deuce court especially, but even in the ad, give him the slow kicker out wide that you use for your second serve.
It's a spectacular forehand up the line from Dimitrov, but just no way through the Russian wall.
30-all.
It's funny, as you knew Medvedev was going to hit that last forehand pass cross court low, and Dimitrov just recognized it a hair too late. 2 points from the set and a 2-set lead is Medvedev. I mean, the one time Dimitrov served volleyed, he got an overhead. Maybe throw that one in again.
still in business.
Deuce.
This injection of pace from the Russian this time up the line.
see from time to time. It's an amazing match from that standpoint. Some of the shots and points are incredible.
Advantage Dimitrov.
Forced errors in between, but here's one of the incredible ones. Great volley. That was a great get off the volley. So was that. Sky hook from Dimitrov. Finally, the finishing overhead.
Volley.
Giving Medvedev a hard time about his volley all match long, and he absolutely stuck that one. One thing, though, if someone hits a passing shot with a lot of pace, you just have to put your strings on it, and it makes for a good volley, and that's exactly what happened for Medvedev there. If you dip it, then you got to show some feel and some hands. That's where Dimitrov, next time Medvedev comes in, needs to think about that. Clock went to 0, but umpire
advantage Dimitrov.
They've had the longest rally of the tournament to this point. That 39-shot rally a game ago.
Yeah, it just flashed up, didn't it? Yeah. The sit down on the big screen. It's been a fascinating second set. Dimitrov trying to stay alive.
That was a little bit of
deuce.
I'm starting to get tired, and I want this point to end from Dimitrov. Drop shot from that far back when he really wasn't in position.
Previous service game, remember, around the 10-minute mark. This one around the 7-minute mark now.
Now these guys, if Dimitrov finds a way to win this set, these guys are on pace for a nice solid 5-hour-plus match. Luke Jensen's got to be happy with that. He'll be down on the sideline for both semis. Beautiful. I mean, it's a great setup.
Advantage Medvedev.
But then this next shot has to be big. You got him out of the court. You don't just chip and charge. You got to rip that one.
But you got to chip it close to the sideline. He put a chip approach right down to the center of the court.
Yeah, I mean, but that was one that needed to be hit.
Thank you.
Exactly an hour, his second set. After a 61-minute opening set, Medvedev chance to finish it. What a huge bonus for the Russian.
Second set, Medvedev.
He is a warrior, this guy.
6 games to 4.
2 sets to love.
Medvedev leads by 2 sets to love.
Well, how significant will that last 5 minutes be? Here are some of the numbers again. The Russians' numbers, particularly behind serve, he would hope to be improving on. Just 51% of first serves in play, and that first serve percentage down in the 40s now for the match. Just 38% second serve points won. Second successive sets, more unforced errors than winners, but he's winning the right points. Winning is a habit for the Russian right now, and he's just a set away from his first Grand Slam final.
Time.
Well, if one of Dimitrov's aims was to make this physical when he stepped on court, he's certainly done a good job of that. 2 hours and 4 minutes for those opening 2 sets. The bad news for the Bulgarian is they both slipped away, both tight. A set point in the first set, remember.
Take a seat, ladies and gentlemen. Ready for play. Thank you.
Daniil Medvedev has made a habit.
If you're courtside, first available seat, please.
Starting to look like he's
Thank you
going
very much.
to add another
Third set,
to the 2019 win column.
Medvedev to serve.
Just a set away now.
15 love. Thirty love.
Long way back now for Grigor Dimitrov.
Uncharted territory for him as far as coming back from this. 0-18 when he loses the first 2 sets.
It's amazing, isn't it? You would imagine a player of Dimitrov's quality and experience would have won a couple here or there.
Yeah.
Game
You
Medvedev.
think of as competing pretty well.
Exactly.
First game.
Doesn't just
third
check
set.
out of matches, does he? Did you get a sense, Luke, end of that second set, how Medvedev was faring physically? How's he looking down there?
Fine. I mean, man, they've had some marathon points. He's moving side to side. Both competitors do not look winded at all after these long rallies.
What's the temperature like down there, Luke, as well?
It's beautiful.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to play It's a perfect setting. But remember, the roof is closed right now. I haven't heard anything about the next match.
Just wondered how warm it gets down there, but of course it's not a particularly warm day, is it? So we have seen the roof closed, and the guy's really perspiring on a humid day in this part of the world. But
there's no give up in Grigor's box. They're still yelling, "Come on, G," after virtually every point.
Oh, after every point. They're into it.
Forget the word virtually.
Now your mindset, 2 sets to love, is this set. You don't worry about winning the match. You don't worry about the 4th set. Worry about this set. And it's amazing how you just micromanage every point when you're in Dimitrov's shoes right now to stay alive.
New balls, please.
He's got to play with reckless abandon, to me.
One game on,
just keep coming
set.
forward. I mean, that's incredible athleticism. The shot off of the return of serve was amazing, because that was an incredible return of serve Medvedev hit.
One apiece then. It's Phil Brook, Wimbledon chairman. He's not caught another, has he? He caught one the other day.
Love 15.
Recognisable tie, that one, isn't it, with the colours of
yes.
All England Club. Digging that one up.
Well, that time
Love
Dimitrov gave him the sorry soon enough, so all Medvedev could do is sarcastically clap.
(15-30).
19 wins in 21 matches for this guy. Just Kyrgios in the Washington final and Nadal in the Montreal final. We've been able to get the better of him this summer.
I like the play
30-all.
from Dimitrov. He had his opponent in a difficult spot, came running in. He's just got to make that volley, at least force Medvedev into another passing shot.
What a lob. Clamped that one on Dimitrov's baseline.
40-30.
I mean, some of the shots Medvedev hits, you're thinking there's just a tiny bit of good fortune that's attached to that shot, that get. He's just trying to hit it in, and he finds lines, it seems. Maybe he's just got more racket talent than most.
He does it over and over again.
Yeah, he does.
Game, Medvedev.
Again, wriggles out of a tricky situation. Body language is looking a little more positive now.
Medvedev leads 2 games to 1, third set, and by 2 sets to 1. Time.
This Arthur Ashe Stadium roof has served us well this afternoon. On a wet day in the borough of Queens. Final major of the season. Who's going to get hands on the trophy? Sunday evening.
Feels as though Rafa Nadal already has one tooth.
Take a seat, please. Courtside. Thank
trophy.
you.
Now
Players are ready. Thank you.
Teeth. Yeah.
He's sunk his teeth into a few. That'd be number 19 in terms of major titles for the Spaniard if he does. All of a sudden, one behind Roger Federer.
And with another Roland Garros coming up next year, that's a guaranteed tie.
Still the boss on the dirt, Jimmy.
I mean, yeah. Team's trying to get close. Team had the misfortune of having to play Djokovic in the semis, and that sort of took all the starch out of it for that final.
Jimmy, do you think in the end that Nadal will have more French Open titles than Pete Sampras has Grand Slam titles?
That's an excellent point. If he continues playing, yeah, he will. And I think one of the reasons he's still playing, Federer's still playing, not Djokovic so much, is that they want to be the greatest of all time. Djokovic also wants to, but he's young enough that there's no reason why he shouldn't still be playing.
And that's why the Wimbledon final, that loss for Federer, is going to haunt him forever.
Oh, it is. It is, because he's probably going to get caught by one of those two, and maybe both.
Medvedev just sniffing a break here. He really is now. This could be curtains for Dimitrov if this one slips away. It's the belief starting to drain from the Bulgarian.
Game Medvedev.
Could be done. Medvedev with a handsome lead now.
Medvedev
It'll be
leads 3 games to
interesting
1
to see
third
this
set.
game and see if Medvedev gets a little tight, because there's a possibility he's thinking like Lee Goodall that, hey, I've got this thing wrapped up. And if he lets his mind wander to that point, then he could play a little tight. You got to just keep it to 1 point at a time.
Yeah, this is new territory, remember, for Medvedev. Despite everything he's achieved this summer, it'll be a first Grand Slam final.
This is what you dream about when you're a kid practicing 6 hours a day. This sort of moment.
And so for Dimitrov, you're saying, come on, we've got to try and keep this close. At least give him a chance of choking.
Yes, you do have to. And Dimitrov's feet looked slightly slower to that forehand. A little dejection, perhaps.
Medvedev has no signs of getting nervous right now.
Not right now. He doesn't.
He is ripping his serves. Medvedev's actually played this game more aggressively than almost any game in the match to this point. He's hitting his ground strokes with a little more pace.
Game Medvedev.
Inches a little closer. He's done the hard work. Can he finish this?
Medvedev leads 4 games to 1 third set and by 2 sets to 1.
Team will have prepared him somehow for this moment. Jimmy, every player gets tired. It's how you deal with it, right?
No question. And for him coming in, because he's won so many matches, he's got a lot of firsts, and it doesn't seem to faze him. He came into this match as the favorite. If he was healthy, I'm sure of his leg, how great he was feeling. The leg was fine. Just needed a day or two off. It's always going to be sort of his match to win, most likely.
So the conditions outside, goodness me. Blowing a gale out there. Junior matches cancelled for the day. In fact, they've taken a handful inside. We're going to play those indoors just to try and get through the draw. A few of the doubles matches. I'm sure I fancy trying to serve in that breeze.
Luckily, we have this.
We do.
Time.
It's a little bit of Hurricane Dorian. The remnants made it all the way to New York.
So the US Open final within touching distance now
Seats
for
quickly,
Daniil
please.
Medvedev.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Can Dimitrov haul himself
Ready
back
for play.
into this
Thank you.
semi-final? It's got to start with a holder serve here.
Finland.
It's interesting watching this, and you realize that if Dimitrov would come forward, he gets a lot of short balls. Had he been coming forward and applying pressure consistently, Medvedev would have felt that pressure. Sort of the toughest match for Medvedev in the tournament, I believe, was Feliciano Lopez, the guy that does get to the net quite a bit.
Yeah, that was a tight one. A couple of tiebreak sets. And came through in 4 sets in the end. That's where the pantomime villain act started.
Let's second
In
service.
retrospect, it looks like a master stroke of a PR stunt, doesn't it? He's sort of slowly but surely won over this New York crowd. Like he knew he was doing all
40-15.
along.
Medvedev did what I feel like every player should do to Dimitrov's second serve every single time. He did it because it's 40-love. It was 40-love, and he wasn't worried about losing the point. His second serve should be attacked.
Game Dimitrov.
Well, it has to start somewhere.
Medvedev leads 4 games to 2, third set.
Dimitrov just needs to try and make this situation as uncomfortable as possible. Himself that he has broken 3 times today. 9 break points he's created. But it's only a single break of serve. It can look good. Sometimes when you 4-1 down. Another shout of stay in the point, wasn't it? The boys courtside.
I mean, I don't mind staying in the point, but not just staying in the point. When you're playing Medvedev, you got to do something. You got to find a way to break down his defense. Dimitrov's done his best work is when he stepped inside the baseline and flacked out.
30-15.
This box yelling every cliche in the book. Build the point, one at a time. You got this.
He's just hooked another wide.
40-15.
Points for 5-2.
Not crazy about what Dimitrov box said the last time. He
40-30.
said cut down the errors. I don't think you should ever use the word errors. You don't want to put that word in your man's mind. Dimitrov did a pretty good job not thinking that way. Getting a little fortunate. He thought a ball was out. Ended up hitting a great shot off of it.
It's another game ticked off for Daniil Medvedev. Frustrating missed return from Dimitrov. He's up
Medvedev leads
5-2.
5-2, third set, and by 2 sets to love.
So 4 more points, not a banana delivered to the courtside chair. He's managed the body well, incredible that he's kept it going here in New York. Medvedev, after all the tennis he's played this summer. Maybe it would have been a different story today had Dimitrov just nicked one of those first 2 sets. Taking this contest to a different kind of physical dimension. Starting to wonder what kind of victory interview they'll get from Medvedev this time, if he can indeed finish the job. Well, it's now or never for Grigor Dimitrov inside this Arthur Ashe Stadium semi-final state here in New York.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ready for play.
I really want him to hold serve to force, to see how Medvedev is handling the pressure of serving for the match, serving for a final. But I'm not convinced Dimitrov's going to hold serve here, especially after that first serve.
Love
I don't know if Medvedev has that kind of mental makeup. He's a little different. His routes and cones are connected in a more positive way.
No question, you're right, but it's still uncharted territory, so I want to see it.
6-7, 6-6, 4-5-2. I want that territory.
Well, of course, yeah. If they told you before the match you get to start at this score, you would say, yeah, okay.
Feeling pretty good.
I'll take it.
Just ask Matteo Berrettini what it's like trying to serve out a big match
exactly
inside this place.
Exactly.
I mean, that was a crazy service game, wasn't it?
He did a good job of laughing it off.
He really did. I mean, he regrouped incredibly well.
It's hard to do. Normally when you get tight like that, it's hard to shake it.
It was the win over Monfils, of course, quarterfinals. One of his sweeter ones today.
30-15.
That is an example of the point I think Roger Federer would have played against this guy. Just placement, placement, placement. Not try to overcook anything.
I don't think you can beat Roger Federer from as far back as Medvedev stands, because he's just gonna take control of the center of the court, and you're in all kinds of trouble. I actually think the same thing with Nadal in the finals. Nadal's going to get a forehand and just start making him. He'll be in the seats by the time the point's over.
Might get it
30
done
all.
here.
Yeah, this set has been the most dominant by a long shot from Medvedev.
He will get an opportunity. It's been a much more straightforward third set.
30-14.
Could be the least joyful box I've ever seen for someone that could make a final up 7-6, 6-4, 5-2 match point.
Here we go, match point for the Russian. Not there just yet.
Here's the start of the great comeback. Grigor's got to go to Agassi and Stepanek and say, can you get my serve to hit my spots a little bit better? He's serving out wide, but half the time it's deep in the box.
Advantage Medvedev.
Another forehands. Misses the mark. And a second chance for the 23-year-old to finish the job. Two saved.
Yes.
This would make it even more interesting if Dimitrov could hold serve here. The fact that he's already had 2 match points, hasn't converted, will add another nice level of pressure for Medvedev to serve it out.
Oh, that's a nice ball. Might just wriggle out of this game now.
Advantage Dimitrov.
You could see on that picture that backhand pass had almost no rotation on it. It was just a flat. Somewhat easy to volley, although it was well placed.
Game Dimitrov.
Well played, Dimitrov. Sticks around for a little longer.
Medvedev leads 5 games to 3, third
Now
set.
let's see what Daniil Medvedev's made of. The spotlight on the Russian. Serving
Thank
for
you.
a place in what would be his first Grand Slam final. He's not hanging around, is he? That's a quality point.
Yeah, that point makes you feel as though
15
Luke
lines.
Jensen could be right. He's mentally solid as they come. I mean, Dimitrov did everything right, really, in that point. He made him hit 1,000,000 forehands, which is the side that normally you can coax a few errors out of if they're going to come from Medvedev.
First point's big too, isn't it? Makes the task feel a little more achievable. Oh. That might change things.
15-all.
Medvedev down the same end as the Dimitrov box now, so he's got that noise in his ear.
30-15.
Doesn't seem to let any noise bother him. He's just sort of getting up to the line, even when the crowd's still making noise. And he goes ahead and serves.
Yeah.
Wants to get off this court. One bounce and boom.
Two big serves, back to back.
40-15.
And he's on the brink once more. 2 hours 38 on the clock. Match point.
Game
Daniil
set
Medvedev
match. Medvedev.
is a Grand
Greece
Slam
Festival.
finalist.
7-6, 6-4, 6-3.
Ice cool from the Russian, and his incredible summer continues.
Coming in was the favorite. If his body was going to hold up, and it held up beautifully. This was a long, tough match, 2.5 hours, over 2.5 hours. But Medvedev, we knew mentally is as strong as anyone in the game right now. He's won so many matches, and that streak continues, and he's into a final of a Grand Slam for the first time.